Let's listen to Colin Cowherd. And again, Colin Cowherd, I like him. I think he's talented. Most times when he talks about Baker Mayfield and teams moving on from quarterbacks, I disagree with him. Let's listen to Colin Cowherd on teams that have moved on from quarterbacks.
It's all about standards for Cleveland now. Ohio guy, you can take Darlene for a corn dog and a beer tonight, but why don't you make a reservation at a nice restaurant? For once in your life, have standards. The Rams moved off Jared Goff. He'd been to a Super Bowl. They moved off Jared Goff. Jared Goff's record in Los Angeles was 42-27. Standards. They moved off him. Kansas City moved off Alex Smith. They were going to the playoffs with him. Alex Smith, 50-26. They moved off him. It's called standards. McVay and Andy Reid. Jimmy Garoppolo has been to a Super Bowl, led entering the fourth against Patrick Mahomes, is 30-14, and they're moving off him. And you're defending Baker.
All right, and again, I think Colin Cowherd is very talented. I think he's good. With Jared Goff, they traded for Matthew Stafford. With they had Mahomes waiting behind Alex Smith. So they had already drafted him and sat him down for an entire year, being Mahomes with Alex Smith. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, they went and drafted Trey Lance in the top 5. The Browns don't have anybody there waiting. That's why they were playing Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I love Colin with the I'm trying to find the right word, demeaning, like, oh, Ohio boy comment. But anyway, I don't necessarily think he's wrong in that. Yeah, I mean, Baker's numbers haven't helped him. But a year ago, they're sitting here and saying, okay, Baker Mayfield was 11-5, improved in his third year, finally had some semblance of consistency within the organization. There was no talk of this. And then all of a sudden now you move off him. I mean, okay, based on this year, I would move off him too, but it's not based off of 1 year. Again, that's the whole thing. We're looking at a body of work here. We're looking at everything. We're looking at an entire, 4-year career. And I think 3 of those years he's been very, very serviceable. Yes, the second year he threw a lot of picks. Yes, the second year there were a lot of issues with Freddie Kitchens. His first year he had the best rookie quarterback season ever. And his third year he led Cleveland to its first playoff win in over 20 years. I'm not saying he's perfect, but again, there's no Matthew Stafford waiting out there. There's no, there's no draft pick, as you said. So again, I'd be more than willing to bring in a draft pick if there was a guy that I really like to go compete with Baker Mayfield next year. But there's just not that person. There's talk about Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins does anything to propel this franchise towards a Super Bowl. I think if anything, Kirk Cousins maybe even, keeps them either a neutral or brings them even back further a little bit, because there are things that Baker Mayfield can do that Kirk Cousins can't do. So it's just, there's nobody out there. You're right. Maybe a guy like Derek Carr could potentially be out there and be a guy you look at. Russell Wilson's not coming to Cleveland. Aaron Rodgers isn't coming to Cleveland. It's a tougher situation being in Cleveland and being in this situation than it is being in LA and getting Matt Stafford, or being in San Francisco and getting a quarterback in the top 5. I mean, and having Patrick Mahomes, who a lot of teams pass on as well. So it's a very difficult situation. I feel badly for Baker Mayfield. I do. He doesn't deserve what's happening right now, given what he's been through in Cleveland. And, I hope it works out for him. I do.